Hello there. I have made a tier list to categorize how I rank each arc in Iruma-kun. All of these arcs have been taken from the Wikipedia, so if you want to go you can look there. But how about I get started? So first is the very first chapter, the very beginning, where he comes to the demon world and meets everyone. So for this, I have to put this at 5.5. Iruma's new rank in the latest part. Oops. I should say spoilers for the whole series up to this point. But I'd say it's 5.5 as this is a base mark for how I think everything's going to rank. Also, the ranking system is based off the ranking system in the Demon World, with Yod being 10 and Alpha being 1. Next is Cannibal Execution arc. Personally, not a favorite as the art style is only improving here, and also you're just meeting the characters, where later on they do so much more. So this is going to go Gimel for now, but every single one of these will be filled out later on. Now, a pretty good one, being the first Battle Party arc. Here you really meet a villain, and the whole point of the series I feel, which is following your desires. So for this and the impact it made, this is going Chet. Now, one thing I do love is Iruma-kun dressing up or cross-dressing. And in this arc, even though it was a bit cringe their meeting, the rest of the series and the implications this had. Nah, it's not Yod, it's probably Zion. So next, the Student Council arc. Here is a great setup arc for the next one, as Iruma really has to learn about the demon world and everything that goes on there. So because I feel like it is setting up for the next one, this has to be like a Vav. Now, I have been reading this series for a while, and when I first read this arc, it made me drop the series altogether, because it just didn't vibe with me. But then after coming back to the series and rereading it, I figured out where it truly does belong, which would have to be in Tet, as I feel like it's even better than the fireworks, as here you see a different side of Iruma-kun, where he can end up like this. He could be this cool. Now, I love Iruma-kun for its slice of life, and not really the battles. So for here, which is slice of life, and him learning to do exams, is great, but contrary to what I just said, this is probably a dullard, as not much happens, and you just get closer with the rest of the Misfit class. So, what's next? Well, what's next is a very fun arc, which actually goes contrary to what I just said about not liking the battles. As here, Iruma really realizes who he is, which is someone who wants to save others, and is frustrated when his fun gets interrupted. And for this, as you also get Asmodeus, he grows a lot. Would it be around Chet, as both of these are fun fighting arcs? Well, not really fighting, but exploring. Ooh, I really like the end of Final Day arc, as not only do you get to know the main trio better, Asmodeus dancing with the rank 1 demon, showing he is not discriminatory, and also the date at the aquarium. This is definitely Zion compared to everything else, as it just has some very cute scenes in it. Oof. Why does Iruma-kun have so many heavy hitters in videos? I mean, arcs. Well, for this arc you meet the tutors, and each have their own quirky personality, and they train very fun stuff, like almost drowning, getting sold into gambling, fighting, and also being a gentleman by being locked in a cage with filthy animals. And Iruma and Lied having to cross-dress, and that setting up one of my favorite arcs is amazing. But for the stuff that actually goes in here, I have to put it at hey, because I can't just keep filling up the top. I personally don't feel like this is better than the beginning where you meet everyone. But this sets up the Harvest Festival arc, and there's only one place for this arc, as everyone shows their strengths that they've learned up till now. And this arc is very similar to the Heartbreaking one in the way that each member gets to exhibit what makes them powerful. And this time, instead of Jazz being eliminated early, I'll wait till I get there. I'm getting a bit excited. So this has to go in Tet. Would it be better than Evil Iruma-kun? Because when I did read it initially, I read the Raws, and this is about where the manga was up to. So it holds a special place in my heart. Post-Harvest Festival arc. Yeah, this can go all the way in Bet, as it's not very that memorable for me, and it's a layover to get to the next stuff, which would be the Persian arc, where they really have to meet Persian, convince him to play, and just have fun. For this, sadly, because it's not actually the music arc, but meeting Persian, this would probably dull it, as I feel like it's not better than meeting the mentors, because it's a struggle and this is only 5 chapters. So, what's next? Next is also a pretty special arc for me, as this chapter explore the music art. I was in year 11 at this point doing drama, and for my assessments, I imagined doing something like this. I was like, wouldn't this be amazing? But sadly, my creativity is stifled by others. Nah, I'm only joking. I could never do something like this. So just for that, this is probably ranked at the top of Zion. But what's next? Next is one of my favorite panels for a long time. And this is where Rama and Amelia went to the dance party and they just had fun dancing. But I'm summarizing the whole post-music arc, and for that, I have to put it above. Do I want to, right here. Because it was just that one was my favorite. The rest of them were good in its own right, like Lied getting the line, but I don't know. Doesn't feel like it deserves to go higher up on the list. Now, as I said before, this is my favorite arc. I love Lied cross-dressing. Iruma-kun goes evil mode again, or evil cycle, and I love it when he does. And let's just say, I made that my background for quite a while. So for this, it goes all the way to Yod. And it 100% deserves to be the very best arc. As not only did you explore more of the idol culture in the demon world, but also you met a new, I wouldn't call her an antagonist, but you find out about someone who's been hinted through the story, especially in the music art. Now here you find about greed, and specifically what type of demon they are, depending on the appetite. And Iruma asked for seconds at the meal, and all the 13 crowns cracked up. They loved it. And for the implications that the setup as well, I'd have to give it, that is pretty good. I'd give it Tet, but that's reserved for one arc that I'm thinking of specifically. Which brings us to Babyliss' second year enrollment arc. So of course, this is an in-between one, but sadly I'm not the biggest fan of the Kago 13-hour arc and how everyone tried to redo the thing. But when the contract did get remade at the very end, that was quite fun. And for that, this goes right here at 5.5. Actually, you know what? Only one can be at 5.5. This can be he. And now we come to the Heartbreaker arc. And I personally enjoy the Heartbreaker arc as you got to explore everyone, with the 3 groups that got eliminated instantly being ones that you've already developed a bond with and know a lot about. Like Persian, you just got a whole arc about him. Lied, you also have gotten so much from him and I love him for that. And also Little Bestie. All 3 of these, great characters that we've already delved into, but here we get to learn about a few more. And for this, there's only one spot. And no, it's not Yod, but the top of Tet. And after a really good arc, I felt like we get 2 setup arcs that I do enjoy, but I don't enjoy nearly as much. And for that, this one, yeah, I feel like we will get a Vav as we even get a bit more Opera Sun. And Bitter Medicine is a great chapter. Trust me, just read it. It's 274. Great stuff happens there. Also, the pre-Devi vacuum arc. So you might notice that there's one spot that has nothing in it. And don't worry, something will get there, but this is all based off my personal preference at the time. Remember how I said for the Evil Cycle Rama in the beginning? That made me quit the series, but then when I reread it, it's now one of my favorites. So whatever I do put in Aleph is there for now, but it can change anytime in the future. So for the setup arc, I have to put it in Dalit. It's not my favorite, and although some fun scenes do happen, it doesn't capture me. Part of that, as I just spoiled before, the Devi vacuum arc goes down there. Mind you, there's some great dancing scenes and some great character moment scenes, but I don't really like the Former 13 crown crashing into the place. It just, yeah, not for me. But off that, let's go to a better arc, the new 13 crown arc. And Irama breaks all the tension, he solves all the problems, and everything's fine and dandy. But where will this go? Because as you look at the top, it's not nearly as good. So I would put it all the way in Zion, specifically above the dancing arc right here. As in this fun little one, the new 13 crowns, you really get to find out more about the master and the inner workings of the devil system. But of that super fun arc to a bit of a more calm one, the Siren Island beach arc. And you might be thinking, beach, rolls eyes, what's this going to be about? Well, you meet the new 13 crown, and he is a very interesting guy, particularly of how powerful he is. But sadly, as there's not that many chapters, only being 6, and you don't learn a lot, it would probably have to be Vav, as he did get some fun action, but not enough. So, why is it if I rank this one so low, that the next one will be way higher? Well, that's because even if it's 3 chapters, being the flower and love, it just made me cackle and laugh. And for that, Anorama's harem, I guess. It's not better than the music arc, but it's one below. So now we have 2 remaining. And remember how I said I really like the Heartbreaker arc? Well, what if I told you the second Battler Party arc is even better, as the previous one is at Chet, and I think that's a pretty good spot for it. But this one right here does amazing stuff. One of the things that draws me to Iruma-kun the most is expressions, and here the expressions are everywhere. Everyone's following their desires. The final result is way better than some simple fireworks, as it inspires fear in everyone's hearts, meaning there's only one spot for it, and that is the top of 10. I don't think it beats the idol arc at the end of the year. It comes close, but I feel like that's reserved for only one. And now we're at the most recent arc, the Scala exam arc, and you get to see who Iruma is and who he's grown to be, as in the beginning he was just about defending, not fighting, but here when the demon patrols come and almost destroy all his hard work, he doesn't stand down, he doesn't cower, he's instantly ready to fight for what he believes in, and also capturing, I don't know if you call it the heart of the new 13 crown, the Kingmaker. You could call it that, because now he's on Iruma's side and he wants to make him the Demon King. So just for its newness and the amount it needs to sink in before I like it or not, I'd probably have to rate it just behind Chet. So let's go over everything. Where have I put stuff? How does it look? So at the top, Yod. This is the idol arc. Next, we got the second Battle of the Party arc, then the Heartbreaker, Evil Psycho Iruma, and so on. Being the first Harvest Festival, then the second Battle arc. I'm really excited to see what they do for the third one, if they get there, or will the series just end. Next is the Scala arc. After that, Walter's Park, 13 Crowns. Then the Music Festival. Something else I'm looking forward to, as this should be the next one coming up. Actually, is it? Yeah. They have the exams, then this. Then it's the Flower arc, which just made me laugh. The new 13 Crowns, as the master gets what she deserves, being the new head. Then, here's also new, or older one I should say, which is the first idol one that led to this little fun thing. Afterwards, you get the little layover. And then another layover. Until you get to the Student Council arc. And then you got the, I'd say you call it 2 layovers or setups for other arcs. Being the Post-Heartbreaker and the Island arc. Followed by 5.5. The beginning, as this is a good benchmark. Now we got the second year, meaning I like the first year beginning better than the second. Then you got introduction of the tutors. Afterwards you got Dullard being the exam, which should be coming up soon, the Persian arc, and the pre-Devi Vacuum arc. Finally you got Gimel being the Cannibal Execution arc, which I felt like the author was still finding their way. Then you got Bet with the Post-Harvest Festival arc, where finally there's a reunition between these 3 good friends. And then finally Alpha, the Devi Vacuum arc. As I said, it's only there now because it's not my favorite, but in the future that is subject to change. Thank you for listening to this video. Like, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you again later.